Exploring Abandonment to Divine Providence, Simplified Interpretation. Book 1, 6 of Chapter 1, on the use of mental faculties. Using our mental and other faculties is only helpful when they serve the divine action. Imagine your mind as a powerful tool in the hands of the divine, capable of incredible feats when wielded correctly. It could be likened to a sharp sword, able to cut through obstacles and illuminate the path ahead. However, just like a sharp blade, if left unchecked, it can become a dangerous weapon, causing harm rather than good. When we find ourselves longing for external assistance or seeking validation from the world around us, it's a sign that we haven't fully embraced the sufficiency of the divine action within us. In those moments, the gentle whisper of the divine reminds us that his power is more than enough to guide us through any challenge or trial. On the other hand, if we dismiss the idea of seeking help altogether, believing ourselves to be self-sufficient and capable on our own, we risk falling into the trap of pride and self-reliance. In those instances, the divine gently nudges us to recognize the value of external assistance, reminding us to approach it with humility and obedience to his divine order. Ultimately, whether we find ourselves relying too heavily on external help or rejecting it entirely, the key is to surrender our will to the divine and trust in his guidance. Like a skilled craftsman wielding a tool with precision and care, we should use our mental faculties as instruments of his will, recognizing that true strength and wisdom come from aligning ourselves with his divine plan. Picture your soul as a vessel eagerly awaiting to be filled with the boundless power of the divine. However, there's a catch. This vessel must first be emptied of all confidence in its own abilities. Like a cup overflowing with its own pride and self-assurance, there's no room for the divine action to take hold. It's like trying to pour water into a cup that's already full. There's simply no space for anything else to enter. In the same way, when we place too much trust in our own capabilities and understanding, we inadvertently block the flow of divine grace into our lives. But here's the beautiful paradox. When we empty ourselves of this false confidence, we create a vacuum, a space for the divine action to fill. It's like clearing away the clutter from a room, allowing fresh air and light to flood in and illuminate every corner. Think of the obstacles in your life, the challenges, the setbacks, the moments of doubt. While they may seem insurmountable at times, they're merely opportunities for the divine to work his wonders. Just as a skilled craftsman can transform raw materials into a masterpiece, so too can God turn the most seemingly insignificant moments into profound expressions of his love and grace. Let go of your reliance on your own strength and understanding. Trust in the infinite power of the divine to guide you, transform you, and lead you to heights beyond your wildest dreams. For with the divine action at work within you, even the most insignificant of things can be turned into vessels of divine purpose and meaning. Visualize your life as a vast landscape, filled with countless paths and possibilities stretching out before you. There are moments of quiet reflection, times of active engagement, and everything in between. Each of these experiences, whether it's meditation, prayer, or simply going about your daily tasks, has its own unique appeal and importance. But here's the thing. No matter how desirable or meaningful these activities may seem, they pale in comparison to one simple truth. God's will for the present moment is always best. It's like having a divine GPS guiding you through the twists and turns of life, ensuring that you stay on the path that leads to fulfillment and purpose. Suppose you're faced with a decision. Perhaps you're torn between spending time in prayer or tackling a demanding task at work. Your mind may lean one way, while your body pulls in another direction. But amidst this internal tug-of-war, there's a voice within you that longs only to fulfill God's holy will. It's like tuning out the noise of the world and tuning into the frequency of divine guidance. When you surrender yourself completely to God's will, it's as if you're handing over the reins of your life to the ultimate navigator, trusting that he knows the way better than you ever could. Whether you find yourself in a moment of quiet contemplation or amidst the hustle and bustle of daily life, remember this. It's not about what you're doing, but why you're doing it. Whether it's prayer, work, or simply being present in the moment, let every action be an expression of your devotion to God's will. For it's in this surrender that you'll find true fulfillment, and the perfection of the heart that grace brings. Think of your heart as a sacred dwelling place, where the Holy Trinity makes its home when you willingly surrender to God's will. It's like inviting royalty into your innermost chambers, where each guest represents a different aspect of divine grace and presence. Now, consider the act of contemplation, a moment of profound connection with the divine, where your soul reaches out to touch the very essence of God. It's like laying out a grand feast for the Prince himself, with each dish carefully prepared to honor his presence. In the same way, there's nothing wrong with cherishing moments of contemplation and other spiritual practices. They're like the servants and attendants who assist in the royal banquet, each playing a vital role in honoring the prince's visit. But here's the key. While we may admire and appreciate these spiritual exercises, our ultimate devotion should be to the God who orchestrates them all. Just as a prince would be offended by any disrespect shown to his attendants, so too does God take offense when we neglect the means he provides for our spiritual growth. So, let your love and esteem for contemplation and prayer be directed towards the God of all goodness. By doing so, you not only honor his presence in your life, but also deepen your union with him, drawing closer to the divine with each moment of sacred communion.